Umbrella is a resource management character with excellent ways of controlling space. All of her specials, supers, and punch normals affect or are affected by the hunger meter, so understanding and managing it well is key. In my opinion, she's the best example of a glass cannon that Skullgirls has to offer at the moment. When the momentum is in her favour, it's great, but one slip up can cost you the game. This video will show you all of Umbrella's moves and some general strategies on how to use them. Umbrella has a lot of useful normals that are buffed greatly when in Ravenous, a very potent command grab, consistently high damage, a small hurt box, and great ways to control screen space using bubbles and puddles. On the flip side, she has very low mobility with a slow walk and run and no double jump or air dash, is weak to zoning without meter, has risky and sometimes inconsistent reversal options, and has a relatively slow early game. The hunger meter has 4 states: starving, ravenous, satiated, and overstuffed. The hunger meter depletes when using punch normals, bubble specials, under the weather, and slowly depletes over time, and also by taunting too. The hunger meter fills up when using Cutie Patooey and any of her grab moves. Playing the character is a balancing act of all of these tools to stay in the desired hunger state for the given situation, which in most cases is ravenous. Satiated is Umbrella's default state. She starts the round with 5 pips of hunger. In this state, she doesn't have to worry about dropping into starving, so you can use as many bubbles as you want, but you become a jack of all trades and master of none within the realm of her moveset. It's never a bad thing to be here, but the goal should be to work your way to Ravenous. Overstuffed is a state you want to be in for combos and not a lot else. Her punch normals and some of her specials gain way more damage and different properties, but become way slower, allowing her to easily delete health bars at the cost of having a very mediocre neutral. The good thing is that if you do any decent overstuffed combo, you'll normally end the combo back in satiated. She does have some mix-ups she can do in overstuffed, but it's hard to recommend staying in this state beyond combos due to the lack of neutral in case the opponent blocks the mix-up. Don't forget about using your bubbles and overstuffs though. They become stronger or stay out longer, but I'll cover the changes when they come up. In starving, you become the worst character in the game, and I'm not exaggerating. Everything is slower, punch normals don't combo into each other, and bubble specials don't produce bubbles. The best thing to do here is back off and use Cutie Patooey, or use your kick normals to confirm into Salt Grinder or Hungan Rush. Ravenous is where the fun begins. You gain access to an instant overhead, a very disjointed low poke, a full screen command grab, the fastest normal in the game at 4 frames of startup, and max chomps off of any grab move. All of your punch normals and specials become a lot faster too. This is where keeping an eye on the hunger meter is vital to not lose all of your momentum by dropping into starving. However, you won't drop into starving as long as your combo is still going. If you go down to 0 pips and the combo counter is still on the screen, you'll stay in Ravenous. Make sure you use Hungan Rush to stay afloat during combos in this state. Umbrella has a lot of useful normals with and without the hunger meter. Forward Light Punch is a good anti-air as Hungan loses his hurt box during the startup and active frames. Stand Light Punch is a pretty far-reaching jab which becomes a 6-frame poke in Ravenous. Crouch Light Punch is a 4-frame button in Ravenous. It's devious to use when mashing out of pressure and doing stagger or tick pressure. Jump Light Punch is an excellent air-to-air button. Jump Medium Punch is a great preemptive air button to cover space in front of her and becomes an instant overhead in Ravenous. Crouch Light Kick hits low profiles a shocking amount of things, and gains a sliding property when used while dashing, allowing for some crazy conversions. Crouch Medium Punch is a decent poke in Satiated, an amazing poke and hits low in Ravenous, and lets her low profile some attacks. This button's really good to pop Bobble and Bubble with, as it reaches far and lowers her hurt box. Crouch Medium Kick has throw immune and airborne frames, making it a great low reset while also avoiding low attacks and grounded throws. Technically, it can be hit by anti-air moves, but this is extremely rare. And funny. When used over a puddle, it becomes plus on block. Crouch Heavy Kick is your sweep, but grants purple bounce instead of blue bounce, allowing for combos and confirms after using it. Stand Heavy Kick is a cross-up hit grab and has a surprisingly decent anti-air capability. Just use it sparingly as it's very punishable on block. Jump Heavy Kick is a really good button to stabilize messy confirms as it re-stands on hit, plus it can be used for cross-ups. Umbrella has a lot of specials that all weave into her game plan and how she manages the hunger meter. Salt Grinder is best used as a means to generate lots of early damage in a combo or to go into overstuff for damage. It can also be used to confirm into feeding time since it staggers the opponent when releasing them. Tongue Twister is a high damaging command grab that works best to enforce your strike throw game by mixing up using this and Umbrella's great low options. Since its reach changes on different hunger states, you can use it to catch someone trying to push block you out or to punish someone too far away from you. With puddles, Ravenous, or being near the corner, she doesn't even need meter to convert from it. Slurp and Slide is +2 on block in Satiated and Ravenous, so it makes for a good pressure tool. In Satiated, it's +5 on hit, which can make it a good, if sometimes obvious, reset point. In Ravenous, or when used over a puddle, it'll knock the opponent up on hit, allowing for a conversion. Hung and Rush is Umbrella's DP. It's strike immune and is unblockable against rising opponents, but it's otherwise extremely punishable on block and isn't throw immune. It has a pretty small hitbox, making it a bit of an inconsistent reversal option, and it isn't special cancelable on block or whiff, so it's also extremely risky to use. Its saving grace is that you can convert meterlessly from any hunger state with very little effort, and it makes for a great combo tool in Ravenous. It's much harder to convert from this move in Overstuffed, however. Cutie Patooey is a very useful tool to occupy opponents at a range. The further it travels, the better frame data it gets, so it can be a good approach tool. You can choose for it to fill or empty the hunger meter by half a pip, so keep an eye on your hunger meter and use it to stop yourself from going into starving. In Overstuffed, the bubble is bigger and knocks down on hit, making it a much bigger threat if you still happen to be filled up. Bobble and Bubble is great to reduce the hunger meter and to present a decently scary threat to the opponent in neutral. Popping it spawns a puddle and hones in on the opponent if it's close to them, knocking them up on hit. In most trades that pop the bubble, Umbrella is usually still in advantage or can combo off the trade. You can also double jump on the bubble for a big air strafable super jump. It's slightly bigger and deals more damage in Overstuffed. Wishmaker is mostly used for set play and combo extensions, but it can present a threat when used in neutral, as any hit from it will result in a combo for Umbrella. Her other bubble specials usually present more of a threat though, since they stay on the screen longer and cover a larger amount of space. It travels almost 3/4 of the screen in Overstuffed, which makes it better for stopping opponents that like to approach with armored moves. Puddles can be interacted with by using any of Umbrella's medium kick normals and with Slurp and Slide. Stand medium kick will grant extra hit stun and damage, allowing for new combo routes. Crouch medium kick knocks the opponent up on hit, allowing for new combo routes and set play. If Umbrella falls down into a puddle by holding jump medium kick, it'll knock the opponent up just like crouch medium kick. All of these hit low and create a disjoint on the puddle visual effects. As mentioned before, if Slurp and Slide goes over a puddle, it'll become empowered. Retina Reflector is Umbrella's most versatile super. It's useful as an anti-zoning tool as it reflects projectiles, can be used in several ways to DHC in and out of, and can be shot out at different distances. It can give her or her teammates time to set up or build resources too, since it stays out for so long. Contact Lens is Umbrella's metered reversal. It's invincible on startup, post-flash unreactable, and deals lots of damage even when scaled, making it a good metered combo ender. Under the Weather is great to use on the opponent's incoming if you want to get rid of some hunger and cover the screen in projectiles. It has an initial hitbox at the top, so it can also be used to end combos if you can kill with less damage and want to get rid of some hunger. Feeding Time is her level 3 super. It's a command grab that deals more damage the less hunger you have. You can combo into it by staggering the opponent. If you kill with the initial chomp, Hungun swallows the opponent's character, which removes their body from the stage, and increases the Ravenous threshold to 0 to 4 pips instead of 0 to 2. Every subsequent Feeding Time kill increases this threshold by 1. It's usually worth killing with this move if Umbrella is healthy and you want her to stay in. It's unreactable post-flash unless used as a DHC. Any move that affects Umbrella's hunger meter does not affect the hunger meter when used as an assist. With that being said, here are some common assist options I've seen used in game, and ones that are listed as her default selectable assists. Forward Heavy Punch is the most common assist. It's got good screen coverage and works in most teams, allowing for some crazy mix-ups with some characters. The final hit staggers the opponent if it hits grounded, allowing for really easy conversions. The rising hitbox can also work as a really good anti-air and conversion tool for some characters, and is a good tool to use for left-right incoming mix-ups. Its biggest weakness is that it's completely vulnerable and prone to being punished if used carelessly. Overall, it's probably the most reliable option. Hung and Rush is a serviceable DP assist, but it still retains its weaknesses if used in starving or overstuff. It retains its invincibility, but loses its unblockable while rising property when used as an assist, so it won't catch an opponent jumping away. If it does anti-air or catch an opponent pressuring you, you get plenty of time to convert or potentially build resources with other characters. It's an okay DP assist, but there are better DP assists out there. Salt Grinder is a good assist to use for combo extensions and resource building characters like Valentine, Beowulf, or Robo Fortune. It lacks neutral usage since it has a very short hitbox, and unlike the assists most commonly used for the same purpose like Excalibella and Take the A-Train, it can't anti-air. It's perfectly suitable if you don't have access to those assists or want to use those characters' other assists though. Keep in mind it does consume stagger during your combo. Wishmaker is pretty much the same as an assist as it is normally used by Umbrella, setups and combo extensions. It can also be used for resource building as the opponent is held in the bubble for quite some time, but deals no damage. You can use a stagger in a combo since it's not a stagger move however. Potentially better neutral than Salt Grinder, but worse damage. Cutie Patooey is reminiscent of George's Day Out and L Love Dart in terms of neutral coverage, but it covers the air instead of the ground, giving you extra zoning options or aiding your approach. Its usage is very similar to how Umbrella uses it when she's a point character, mostly a neutral aid more than a combo tool. In terms of team building, there's a whole guide on that exact topic made by some very dedicated and epic gamers, which I'll link in the description. She's generally considered best in the middle of a team due to Retina Reflector being a great DHC option and having some pretty good assists, but she also works really well as a point character with Retina Reflector's ability to safely tag out, and being able to use assists to cover her weaknesses and give her space to work her way to Ravenous. Most players consider Anchor Umbrella to be her weakest position, but she can be incredibly strong with a lot of meter backing her up. All it takes is one good level 3 kill to immediately gain advantage with her. Put her wherever you find is most fun. The same can be said for Solo. As a solo, she can make a lot happen with her extremely high damage output, and when she builds some meter, feeding time becomes a lot scarier with solo damage. She does still suffer from the same pitfalls as other solo characters though, which are only exacerbated by her very risky defensive options and relatively poor neutral and mobility. It's extremely hard to get rushdown characters off you, and without meter it's nearly impossible to get in on a zoner, but a few stray hits or resets into a good overstuffed combo will often kill a character and let you continue building meter for feeding time. And that's about it. Hopefully this video gave you a decent idea of how to use this weird little cheating child. I'll link some more video resources in the description, such as Oddberry's reset guide and Nope.avi's square root setup guide. Big thanks to Swergen for looking over my script and suggesting improvements on the guide while making sure that I'm not talking complete nonsense. Thanks for watching.